The wreckage of Earth's last fleet drifted in silence, a graveyard of shattered hulls illuminated only by the distant, dying glow of Mars. The battle was over. Humanity had lost. The once proud armada, Earth's last hope against the Zalari invaders, now floated as a testament to their failure. No distress signals. No survivors. Just silence. Commander Riker Cade sat in the cockpit of his battered Starfighter, his breath shallow, his muscles tight with exhaustion. His fingers trembled over the controls as he stared at the void where his squadron had been just minutes ago. Friends, brothers in arms, gone. His comms crackled. A broken distress beacon barely pinging through the static, a lone message from Mars' final bastion. This is Outpost Omega. We are under siege. Any remaining forces, regroup at coordinates. The transmission cut off. Static swallowed the rest. Cade's jaw clenched. There was no one left to respond. No one but him. He punched in the coordinates, firing up his battered ship's engines. Plasma trails still flickered in the dark as he set a course for Mars. He was running on fumes, both his ship and his body, but if there was one last stand to be made, he would make it. Mars loomed ahead, its crimson surface scorched by fire and war. The Zalari fleet had begun their descent. Their capital ship, a monolithic construct of obsidian and crackling plasma, cast an eerie shadow over the last human outpost. The sheer scale of it was monstrous, as if the void itself had manifested into a harbinger of doom. Cade's comms flickered again. "Cade, is that you?" The voice was hoarse, barely above a whisper. "Mira?" He couldn't believe it. "Dr. Vale? I thought you—" "No time," she cut him off, urgency laced in every syllable. "You need to get inside. Now." His ship screamed through the Martian atmosphere, heat shields barely holding as he maneuvered past the falling wreckage of human and Zalari ships alike. The last defense cannons from Outpost Omega fired weakly, struggling to hold back the incoming invasion force. He barely made it through the crumbling hangar doors before the Zalari obliterated the entrance. His ship skidded to a halt. He ejected, landing hard on the metallic floor, rolling to absorb the impact. Mira was already there, blood on her uniform, panic in her eyes. "What the hell is happening?" he demanded, barely catching his breath. "I found something," she said, pulling him deeper into the underground chambers of the outpost. Something ancient, something powerful. They reached a massive vault, its walls etched with symbols not of human origin. In the center of the chamber, resting on an obsidian pedestal, was an artifact unlike anything Cade had ever seen. A sleek, silver gauntlet. It pulsed with an eerie energy, humming softly, as if waiting. Mira hesitated. "This isn't human tech, Cade. It predates us. The last Starfighter. That's what the inscriptions call it. A weapon, or maybe something more." Cade stepped forward, his fingers hovering over the gauntlet. "And you think this is going to stop them?" Mira swallowed. "It's the only thing we haven't tried." Something about it called to him. He didn't know why, but he didn't question it. He slid his hand into the gauntlet. Pain shot through him, a searing white-hot agony that blinded his vision, seared his nerves, and stole the breath from his lungs. Then, stars. Not just stars. Memories. A flood of knowledge from a war long before humanity had even existed. The last Starfighter wasn't just a weapon. It was a key, a sentinel of a forgotten era, a legacy left behind. A voice echoed in his mind. "You have been chosen." Cade gasped, blinking as the world snapped back into focus. He felt different, stronger, faster. His mind thrummed with knowledge that wasn't his own, and his battered Starfighter. It was changing. The ship in the hangar groaned, its battered metal warping, morphing, evolving into something new. The energy of the gauntlet pulsed, and Cade knew exactly what he had to do. The Zalari capital ship loomed, its cannons charging for the final strike on Mars. Cade launched. His fighter moved like liquid lightning, weaving between the void, dodging plasma bolts with inhuman precision. He could feel the ship responding, not just to his hands but to his thoughts. The Zalari forces closed in, but Cade was faster, stronger. He unleashed energy blasts that tore through their ranks, his ship moving in impossible arcs, defying the very laws of physics. And then the Zalari deployed their trump card. A warlord emerged from the capital ship, stepping onto the battlefield in a personal command craft. Threxus the Unyielding. His armor pulsed with the same eerie energy as the gauntlet. Cade felt it immediately. The connection. The same ancient power. Threxus sneered. You wield stolen power, human, but it will not save you. Their battle shook the void. A duel of light and destruction, of fate and fury. Each movement was a blur. Each attack shattering the fabric of space itself. And then Cade understood. The gauntlet was never meant to destroy. It was meant to awaken. He reached deep, beyond the battle, beyond himself, and unleashed it. A pulse of light erupted from his ship, cascading outward in an unstoppable wave. The Zalari fleet, Threxus, the darkness. They were consumed, rewritten into stardust, echoes of a war that had finally ended. Silence. Then a voice. Well done, Starfighter. Cade awoke on Mars, the sky clear for the first time in centuries. Mira stood over him, smiling through her tears. You did it, she whispered. The gauntlet on his arm dimmed, its purpose fulfilled. The battle was over. But Cade knew the war was just beginning. And this time, humanity wouldn't stand alone.